I'm Yannick Hanfman.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
This is Sebastian Oltner.
It's Marc-Andrea Whistler.
I am Francisco Cerundolo.
And you're listening to the GTL podcast.
Hopefully you enjoy it.
Hopefully.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. Indian Wells, we're still there. And, well, it's been a great day of tennis, JG, because we're nearly in the quarterfinals. And Jannik Sinner, he just keeps on winning. And this time he did it against my namesake, Ben Shelton. But this one, an incredible performance, I thought. And he did what you said he was going to do as well. So we got to give you some credit. It was a tie break and then one break.
Yeah, exactly that. Jannik Sinner keeps winning. I don't know what happened to you there. You just glitched in the Matrix and started doing something a bit weird. But maybe it's mine. I don't know. It's very strange. But yeah, like you say, Ben Shelton didn't have it. I didn't think he would. Sinner in straight sets. And the big talking bit part now is how many matches can he win? Can he go 20? Can he match what Nadal did recently? Can he go for the biggest record? I'm not sure what that is. I think it's 41 or something like that for Novak Djokovic. There's a lot of records out there, and I'm interested to see how far along Jannik Sinner can go. He is now odds-on favourite to win Indian Wells, just over evens at all the bookmakers. He has Novak Djokovic, who's not there. Carlos Alcaraz is still in. Medvedev's still there. There's no Rublev. And I think that the only real challenge will be in the semi-final, potentially, against a Carlos Alcaraz. And I think if he can get to the final and get past Carlos, he will win the whole thing. I think the final will be won in the semi-final of an Alcaraz-Sinner, if we are to get it. Of course, I'm going a few steps ahead. There's no certainty that will happen. I know Alcaraz has a tough match against Zverev coming up. So let's wait and see.
Yeah, I'm sort of on the same page as you there. I feel that they are the two standout players in the tournament. Can't forget about Medvedev, obviously last year's finalist as well. I think he played really well against Dimitrov. He's just literally just gone through this evening and it was straight sets, nice and comfortable. He just made it look easy, and that's what we like to see from Daniil when he's playing in that flowing style. He didn't really ever look under threat from Dimitrov today, and credit to him. And he'll face now either Fritz or Rune in the quarterfinals, and the quarterfinals they will be completed when we get that final match finished. Let's speak about Jannik Sinner though, and his incredible run that he's having. This match I thought he was brilliant in. I thought that the way he neutralises Ben Shelton's serve, it's almost Novak Djokovic-esque now, the way he's getting on his return game, Jannik Sinner. And you see here, 18 consecutive wins, no flaws in his game, no weakness in his mentality, undefeated in 2024, 35-2 since the US Open, and he's becoming a whole different kind of beast.
Yeah, them two losses coming against Djokovic and Shelton, and that's what impressed me the most about this one. Him being able to beat someone who he's lost to recently. It's not even recent, but it was one of the last losses he's had. I think it was back in October time. So I think the more exciting thing is the actual winning consecutively. So it's 18 consecutive, but I think it's 14 in 2024 or something like that. He needs to go, or 16, I forget now. There is a tweet. I don't know if I did share it with you.
There's exhibitions in there as well, though. I don't know if they're counting those.
No. There was a tweet I sent with all of the different winning runs.
So there's this one. So this one is the players who won their first 15 matches in a season.
So I think it's 16.
Yeah, I think it's gone up one probably since this tweet has gone out. Let me just have a look to see when it was posted. But this is what he's up against. Obviously, you can see there we got Agassi in 1995. Well, I had 15 in a row. Sampras 97. Federer in 2006 and 18. We got Djokovic there 4 times. He's managed to do it in 11, 13, 20 and 2023. Nadal in 2022, and then Jannik Sinner entering into the fray with a really incredible year, and it can only get better, I feel, for him. and he's I don't know, he's deserved favourite right now for me, Jannik Sinner, in this tournament. And you've been saying it and singing his praises, saying he's the best player in the world. He is, and it's clear for everyone to see now. There was me hoping that Djokovic would make a bit of a return, hoping that he gets that revenge when he doesn't play in the country for a while. It's not happened, does it? You said he looked a little bit off in his first match. I was sort of a bit trying to glaze over it. He was off, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And in the second match, definitely off, and he got found out.
But I thought if he would have played Sinner in this final, he would have got smacked up. That was my opinion.
I think so.
But then saying that, Djokovic to get all the way to a final, maybe he would be playing a lot better than what he was playing. So you can't say that at all. Yeah. I've sent you a tweet now, and this is the one I've been talking about, which I couldn't remember all the numbers. And this is the best starts to a season, ATP, since 1990. So Djokovic were the best in 2011, 41-0. He then got a 26-0 in 2020. Nadal's won most recently, we covered on the podcast, 20-0. Sampras, 17-0. Djokovic and Federer also have done 17. Federer's also followed up with a 16 as well. And then on 15, you've got Agassi, Djokovic and Sinner. So the reason I like this tweet is because it highlights the names he's now in the conversation with. If he can win one more match, he's then left Agassi and Djokovic, and he's on the little line with Roger Federer. If he wins one more, he goes up, and then he's got the fourth longest winning streak from starting a season since 1990. If he can get to 20, it puts him in GOAT levels, GOAT numbers. Yeah. Djokovic, Nadal, the greatest to ever play the game. Only they've been able to do that. So much for him to do, and the mad thing is, I think it is really possible. I don't want to jinx this whole thing, but I truly believe it is possible for Jannik Sinner to produce a 23-24.
We've got a whole of Miami coming up, and if he wins Indian Wells, he's going to go into Miami as favourite as well. Let's be honest. I know the conditions are slightly different, but I don't think it even matters about conditions anymore for Jannik Sinner. The way he played against Shelton played really well. It should be noted as well. He didn't just turn up and get beaten. He turned up. He gave it his all. He played some incredible winners himself. He's got it's the fastest serve on the tour pretty much now. And Sinner worked him out. I think Sinner was up a break, got broken back in the first set, but he's just so good in a tie break. And this is against someone with such a big
He's so good
serve.
at saving break points, Ben. That's the thing. There's no one I've ever seen who are so successful at saving break points. 80% yet again, 4 out of 5 saved, and he's been asked about it a lot because the numbers are staggering for how he saves break points, and he just says he's quite calm in these moments. I think he talks about his skiing and how that was really stressful and scary. There's no reason for him to be scared playing tennis when you look at some of the more dangerous things he's done in his life. For him, playing tennis is not that dangerous and mentally not that taxing. Of course, at times when you're trying to win championships, I don't care who you are, you're going to feel the pressure. But with Jannik Sinner, he just seems calmer at big moments. The bigger points, he plays better than anyone in the world, and that is why he keeps winning. Because if you can win the important points, you'll always win matches.
Well, and not just matches, but sets as well. Sets are something that he barely even drops right now. You can see here, in the last 43 sets played, he's won 39 and lost only 4. I mean, incredible. That's consistency. And he's not even going to deciders, really.
Yep.
This is the thing with the way he's playing right now. The last person he dropped a set to was Gauff Monfils in Rotterdam, and Gauff Monfils has been playing some amazing tennis. And then before that, it was Djokovic at the Australian Open. So pretty high standard to take a set from Jannik Sinner right now. Will Lehechka, his next opponent, be able to do it? Because we saw how well Lehechka played against Tsitsipas. I mean, everybody was saying, oh, it's Tsitsipas. Is he coming back to a bit of form? Lehechka made him look average. He looked so good, Lehechka. And he's one of those young players that not many people are talking about. Doesn't have like the star power, star quality, but he's a damn good tennis player on his day. And this could be closer than maybe some people are giving Lehechka credit for. I feel that this could be the one which Sinner needs the most focus because everyone's just expecting him to win it. It's a dangerous match.
Yeah, agreed. I'm just looking at the live rankings here. Jannik Sinner currently at a new career high of number 2 in the world.
Brilliant.
Which is important to know. He's just past Carlos Alcaraz, who's defending all of the points at Indian Wells.
Yes.
I'm not sure if... I think if Alcaraz, of course, beats him in a semi, then Alcaraz will remain number 2. But
Okay.
we're going a bit ahead of ourselves with that for sure. Let's wait and see what happens. There's also some movement for Bublik, who's at 18 in the world. Lehechka is up to 27 in the world. And what was the other one? Alex de Minaur still inside the top 10. And Casper Ruud flying. He's doing well in number 8 at the moment. It was Zverev moving up to 5th.
Yeah, Casper Ruud ending the Gauff Monfils great run that he was having, but not going down without a fight, Gael. It was still 3 sets. And Gauff took the first set, lost the second on a tie-break. So that's how close it really was against Casper Ruud. Tommy Paul's just, John De La Rose was in there the other day saying, this is going to be the winner of the tournament. Tommy Paul.
No chance.
But does he stand any chance in this tournament? Tommy
No
Paul,
chance.
He's at the top. He's got Casper Ruud next in the quarterfinal. And then it'll either be Medvedev or Fritz or Rune. So it's not. It's a potential
he loses
finalist.
to them. It is the potential. It's a nice place, but I don't think you'd get past a Fritz or a Medvedev.
Tough. Very.
Fritz
very
knows
tough.
him inside out, and I feel
He
Fritz
does.
has a little bit more than he does. But you never know. That one would be tight. But my anticipation is Medvedev beats Fritz, and then Medvedev will also beat Tommy Paul.
Yeah, another stat for Sinner that I popped up here just before we move on from him is he is now the 4th player this decade to claim 9 consecutive ATP Top 20 victories after Djokovic, Alcaraz and Medvedev. In, it's just the big 3 out of the... he's the 4, isn't he?
Yep.
So, and the person he's possibly going to be meeting in the semi-finals, we've got to speak about Alcaraz and his... sort of resurgence back from injury. Doesn't look injured at all. He played Malazan. Malazan, a very good player, someone he's lost to before in quite dramatic circumstances. But this time, I feel like it was one of those ones, like you were saying, Sinner getting one back over on Shelton. This was an important win for Alcaraz because for the mental, you've got that guy down the other end who sort of upset you the year before, and now this time Alcaraz looked amazing. I mean, the way he's striking the ball, he's playing like one of these people who is just there for the crowd as well. They were sort of oohing and ahhing and waiting for the moment he was going to hit that power shot, and he never disappoints. He was just going for them, and they were all hitting the baseline in the corners. Incredible stuff, and I can't wait if we get that semi-final.
Yeah, we had 105 mile an hour winners flying off the forehand. We had 24 winners to only 5 unforced for Carlos, and he was serving impeccably as well, winning 84% behind his first serve. Marazan had no answers. He'd beaten him before, and I thought this could be a bit of a tough match, especially with Alcaraz carrying an injury, not playing at his best, but it wasn't to be. And Carlos is back to his best. And that will be a really tough match against Sinner. And I'm going to keep saying it, it's the final before the final. I think if we get Sinner, Alcaraz, the winner of that one will win Indian Wells. So I don't want to be dismissive to Daniel Medvedev, but
next.
I think, yeah. But if we are to see an Alcaraz, I think if we see Zverev beat Alcaraz, then Sinner will beat Zverev easily.
Well, Zverev has beaten Alcaraz the last 2 times they've played. Should be noted that as well. Beat him at the Australian Open, beat him in the Tour finals. Obviously, the time before that, Alcaraz beat him at the US Open. It's a tough match because Zverev is coming back to form, and he beat a very informed Alex de Minaur as well. I mean, Alex de Minaur played great in this match, but Zverev had one of those mentalities where he's just there to outlast you on a tennis court. And when he's in that type of mood, Alex de Minaur can run all he wants. Unfortunately, Zverev was coming to the net, volleying incredibly well. And sadly, Alex de Minaur, he goes out the door, and I feel that Zverev has more of a chance of beating Alcaraz in this form than what Alex de Minaur did, to be honest.
We've got Massimiliano in saying, hi guys, how we doing? He's saying, I believe that both Alcaraz or Zverev can beat Sinner here. The rebound of the ball is high and there are windy conditions, a lot different than in Miami or New York. It's a fair take for sure. I feel like this is a classic example of an Italian underplaying Sinner's chances. So then if he does lose, they don't feel so bad because they've said it on a live stream. I think in your heart of hearts, Massimiliano, you don't believe that.
Maybe. I like it, though. I like it sort of downplaying it. I think you can't rule out Carlos Alcaraz because he is the reigning champion. You've got to remember that as well. He didn't just win this tournament for no reason last year. He was.
You can't rule out Carlos Alcaraz. If that is the semi-final and he's beating Zverev and we see him against Sinner, Sinner has to win his match, of course.
We need that.
I think that match is a really tight one. I think we're looking at like a 60-40 in favour of Sinner. I don't put much between them at all. I think it's going to be really neck and neck. The only big thing with Sinner is that invincibility factor, and he feels himself that everything he touches ends in a winner and him winning a set. So that is what I put the difference down to, because ability-wise they're on a par. So whoever can come through that semi-final, if they are to face a Medvedev or a Fritz in the final, it will be plain sailing. I think it will be a straight set victory.
Yeah, I feel like the favourite is definitely coming from that semi-final. Should we get Alcaraz and Sinner? A Medvedev, for me, the favourite on the top. Last year's finalist. We could get who knows? We could get a replay of last year's final. It could be Alcaraz, Medvedev again. Medvedev, he's playing a little bit slow at the moment, but hopefully he's making a few changes if he has to play different opposition. Could be playing Fritz, a former champion, as well in the next one. But let's move on to the big upset on the women's side. And the big upset was Sabalenka out. And there's part of me that I'm not actually as surprised about this one, just because when we watched her playing in the last round, I didn't think she was actually that great. I mean, when she defeated...
You beat me to it.
Yeah. She wasn't, was she, though?
No, she wasn't. We watched it. We watched her against Raducanu, and it was a 5 out of 10 performance, I think, from Sabalenka. Yeah. I wouldn't give her 1 mark above average in that. And an average player can lose, and that's how she performed. Of course, she is a world-class player. I'm not calling her average by any means, but she produced an average performance against Emma. And this Emma, she couldn't get away with it.
No. And Emma Navarro, I mean, she's somebody, I've sort of had her in my crosshairs last year, and I knew that she was going to come good at some point. I mean, she just needed one of these big victories, but she's been knocking on the door, and she's flying high. She's in the top 30. I think she's a really good player. She's solid on both wings. Just has a very, very good all-round game. I was watching the match earlier on. Sabalenka, she didn't play great, but you still have to beat her. It wasn't just like a gimme, and she was able to just completely just accept lots of errors. Like when we watched the Raducanu match, there were a lot of errors from Saba that gave the points. I feel like in this one, it was more Navarro hitting winners than it was Saba errors. I thought it was really good. And she was speaking after her win, and this is some of the words that were spoken on the court. And it says, your 92-year-old Grammy didn't have to stay up until 3 a.m. to watch her granddaughter get her biggest win of her career. And Emma said, I think she was in tears the other night after I gave her that shout out on TV. Happy she could watch my match at a normal hour. Thanks for watching again, Graham. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it?
What's Graham?
Like grandma.
Yeah, but it's Grammy. Is that a thing? It's Granny.
People call their grandma or grandparents different things, don't they? They're like Nan, Granny, Grandma.
I've never heard Grammy before. Let me know on the live chat. Has anyone heard Grammy? When you say Grammy, I'm thinking of the award, Grammy.
Maybe.
Next one, an Oscar? Is she trying to go for next?
Maybe that's her grandfather, 'cause he's called Oscar, I think.
Oscar's staying up, and they got Grammy as well. But yeah, interesting. I thought you'd said something wrong there, but clearly that's what it said on the tweet. But on Emma Navarro, like exactly what you've said, she is a very good player. I know you've been quite hot on her, and I was just looking at her, how she's performed this year. She's been the 11th best player on the WTA circuit according to the race. And you said she's inside the top 30. She's actually just snuck into the top 20 now. She's 20th.
Brilliant. Well played.
20th in the world, 22 years old. So one of the promising young American talents. And you never know. Pegula needs to watch her over her shoulder, because Emma Navarro's coming to take her position if she doesn't buck her ideas up.
Yeah, she's no joke. I mean, she's won a title already this year in Australia, where she defeated Mertens in the final, beat Yuan. That seems like a better win now, beating Yuan, considering how well Yuan's playing in this tournament. I can't wait to see her next match to see how she gets on. But yeah, Navarro, in this tournament, she's beaten Sorenko, Svitolina, and Sabalenka, all in 3 sets. So the one thing to note about Navarro is she's a fighter. She can play in 3 sets. It's not one of these women who's just going to go off injured in a third set. Yeah, she can fight. I like it, and I'm really looking forward to her next match, which is going to be it's on right now. It's Sakari, or it's going to be Diane Parry. And how's that one going?
Parry looking to take the second set. Let's go.
Wow.
It's going to go to 3. Parry, someone I picked earlier against you. We've got our own little game we play, me and Ben, on Beat the Odds. And I'm hoping for a Parry victory there.
Yeah, well, I'll be hoping for a Sakari victory. Sakari does pretty well at Indian Wells. She's been to the final before, semi-finalist, I think, last year. But somebody else we need to speak about, who we were given a bit of criticism to, I believe it was a few days ago, saying she wasn't really playing very well. Well, she got Elise Mertens, and that brought her back to form. It's Coco Gauff. Yes, she absolutely blitzed Elise Mertens, did Coco Gauff, and on her birthday as well. So it says here, with a victory over Elise Mertens, Gauff has reached a 13th WTA 1000 quarterfinal, surpassing Wozniacki for the most by an under-21 player since the format's introduction in 2009. Yeah, birthday. Happy birthday.
The crazy thing I read earlier, that she's 20 years old. I had to have a double look. I just did not think she was 20 years old. I can't believe how young she still is.
It's nuts, isn't it?
It's because we've been talking about her since she was 14, 15.
Yeah.
And now she's 20 and one of the best players in the world. We knew that she could be when we was first talking about her coming through, when we started the channel. And she's doing exactly what we expected her to be able to do. If anything, it took a little bit longer, because I feel like there was a few years where we was waiting for her to break through. It never happened. But now she's like one of the staple top girls. And
yeah,
it was nice to see her dominate a match. I think she's got quite a few bagels this year. I saw some other statistics saying how she's doing extremely well with the breadsticks and bagels.
Yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful victory. A 6-love, 6-2. That's just what the doctor ordered on your birthday, and then you can go away and celebrate for the rest of the evening. And she'll hopefully be celebrating after the next match. You play either Kasatkina or Yuan in the next round, and that's a winnable match for either of those opponents. And that could potentially set up a semi-final against either, Parry, Sakari, or Navarro. I mean, you've got to like her section down there. Now Saba's gone. Coco, like the big favourite, you'd think, to progress to the final. And up at the other end, we've got one girl who just keeps doing her thing. Probably the biggest favourite. I think she's even bigger favourite than Jannik Sinner, you said. And it is Iga Swiatek. And
well, she was 1.6 before Saba went out. I'm assuming she's about 1.3 now. She's Nel Fabiola, and I can't see her losing.
Oh, don't say that now. Oh dear, the bookmakers. Yeah, but
Cheltenham
anyway,
joke for the Cheltenham fans.
Yeah, well, hey, the raw. The match today, she actually played against Putin Saver and Putintseva, she just isn't good enough to play against Iga. Let's put it that way. She's played against her 3 times now. She's lost straight sets every time, and she tries these tactics. I know that we've had some words of criticism about Iga in the past, where she comes to the net, does the old like arm wave in, all of that type of thing. But Putintseva has her own version of this when she plays Iga, where she's standing down the other end, ready to receive serve, and instead of standing still and just moving slightly side to side, she sort of dances side to side, like almost to try and put Iga off. And it was sort of working because Iga's serves kept hitting the net, kept going long. What do you make of Putinseva's tactics?
I didn't see it, but I'm only going off what you was telling me before the stream. I feel it's just a defeated look. Like, I can't really say too much. I don't have anything negative. I know you wanted me to say something negative. I don't have much negative to say. The reason being is because I look at how good Iga is, and I feel like if you was another player and you just lost your first set to like a bagel or a breadstick like she always does to you, and then you just see her coming up in the second, she started strong as well, you just run out of ideas. It's just a bit of a like, what else can I do? I think it's done more in jest than anything. So I'm not angry at it. Iga is a robot. She's perfect. She's like the perfected tennis AI.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it? And she's cruising through this tournament, really. The people that you thought that were going to give her trouble, like Noskova, blitzed her, straight sets. Putintseva couldn't have asked for a better person to be playing in a 4th round, really. So easy. She's got Wozniacki next. I mean, I expect her to win that one as well, fairly comfortably. And then it could be Potapova or Kostyuk in a semi-final. I mean, I expect her to beat either of them, both of them on the same day if she wants.
Yeah.
Is that harsh?
No, I agree completely.
Yeah, so that's all I have to say about Iga. This one is speaking about Iga, but it's not me. It's Andy Murray. We like to have a little bit of Andy Murray chat on each one, and this one is talking about his favourite.
Was he asked when he's retiring or not?
Well, we can maybe send him a tweet or something.
Poor Andy. He gets asked all the time. He's so angry about it.
But he was asked who his favourite players on the tour to watch are, and he said it's Carlos Alcaraz, Iga Swiatek, and Gael Monfils. He said, I love watching Alcaraz because of the way he plays the game. He has so much variety, power. He tries stuff. He doesn't always get it right. He makes mistakes, and that's also something I enjoy watching. You never know what's going to come next. I've always enjoyed watching Monfils as well. I love watching Iga. I think she's brilliant to watch. She's my favourite player to watch on the women's side.
Yeah, I mean, the only one that really surprises, I guess, is the Iga love from Andy, because she's not like them other two. Exactly. They're more like showmanship, and Iga's not. You'd think she'd go for... He would be more a fan of like an Ons Jabeur or something on the women's.
I feel like he likes Iga because it represents something that he isn't in the men's game, really. He didn't have that style where you just wipe people off the court. He was more like a Marathon Murray in long rallies, grinding people out. And I think when he sees somebody like playing in that style, I think he's a little bit envious of it, and he watches it and he's like, wow, that's actually incredible. So I think it's a lot of like bit of envy, but well, admiration mainly, I think. But yeah, that's all the tweets I've got anyway.
Okay, let's end on one other story then, and this is one I've got. I'm not going to share the tweet, or should I share? I'll send it to you because then maybe you can share it while I'm talking. And this is Casper Ruud at Masters events, because we often do give Casper Ruud a hard time. But the thing you've got to say about him is he does often produce big results at big events. We've seen him now get to slam finals on multiple occasions. We've seen him perform at Masters events on multiple occasions. And you can see here, 8 out of the 9 Masters events, he's made the quarterfinals or better. He is the best person in the world at getting points. He's a points maniac. He will go to 250s when no one else is, just to pick up them 250 points. He will go deep in Masters or Slams to get the points. He doesn't necessarily win them all, but he goes deep enough to always be up there. And this is why he was one match away from being world number one, which is an incredible achievement because he's a points maniac.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, there's not many other players on tour that would just look at the calendar and go, 4 250s, 4 weeks running. Think I can do that.
No, but he times them when people aren't going to be there. Like, it's all very tactical. And in Masters, he does well in Masters. These are tough draws, Masters. You can't say anything about, he's got an easy draw. They're all good players. And he consistently goes deep in these events. But look where he goes to. Semi-finals, finals, quarterfinals. He don't win them.
No, he doesn't.
Just
need
gets
to
the
be up
points.
there. Yeah, he does get the points, and this is the thing. Like,
Cafe loves it. Look, he gets the points. Good point, JG. Thanks, Cafe.
Coming into this year in 2024, and I think it was when we were at the UTS as well. I was watching Casper Ruud, and I just thought, I don't really give him that much of a chance based upon this performance at UTS. I mean, he doesn't seem like he has that much power. But then he started this year fantastically well, and he's barely lost a match, really. He lost to Dimonor, he's lost to Thompson, he lost to Cam Norrie at the Australian Open. And then
anymore, barely lost a match, can't reel them all off.
That's it. I mean, he lost to Sinner in an exhibition, but they're the only 3 matches. He's lost 3 matches this year. It's pretty good. All the rest.
I feel like he's what I would be. This is what I would be if I was a tennis player. I'd be a bit of a Casper Ruud. I'd just be very tactical in the tournaments I choose, and I'd do just enough to always be there. But I'm not good enough to win things. And I feel like it's a bit like my game now. I feel if I went to some better tournaments, I've got enough ability to beat some players. But then when it gets to like the real good players, I just don't have the weaponry.
Sad. Don't worry, we'll train you up and get you ready for those.
Not with this finger, you won't. Look, this is why I'm late, by the way, guys. I cut my finger chopping a pepper. Bad injury.
I thought that we were going to have to call off the whole podcast. It was a whole...
For those wondering why I'm late, it is literally by trying to cut an onion. No, a pepper. The onions, I did very well.
Sliced and diced his finger by mistake by the looks of it.
Painful.
We'll send you on one of those culinary courses, Gordon Ramsay course. When you're cutting them, you're supposed to keep your fingers in, and then that's it. Touch the knuckles. That's what they say.
Yeah. Well, that was my last story I wanted to bring forward. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. If you haven't already, hit the like button with my dodgy finger and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for some more matches. The order of play has been released, so me and Ben are going to go and have a little look at that and get really excited and giggle on a call later discussing the order of play. And yeah, Inter Milan did lose now. But I'll tell you who's going to win tomorrow, and that is the mighty West Ham United. If you have some time tomorrow, stick the TV on, put on TNT Sport, watch West Ham against the mighty Freiburg, and we'll see how it all goes.
That's it. And listen out in the afternoon for the Raw.
At Indian Wells, because Covey will be covering some matches. See you soon.
See you guys.
Is there an outro, Ben?
Yeah, there is. You never find it though.